Hello everyone, Debbie here. Welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. Today we're going to make this card. So I'm not sure what it's called, but I think we'll just call it a column pop-up card. So it looks like that from the front and that from the top, hence the columns. And for postage, they do fold flat, so that makes them great if you need to send them in the mail. So there's this one. So this one I've actually done with an oval aperture in it. And I've added a little strip of acetate and I've attached this to it so it looks like it's kind of floating. So that's one way you can do this. This is the other way, and this is the way we're going to be doing it today. So this one's actually got a sheet of acetate in the cutout piece. So again, that's from the top, the front, and when it's folded. And as you can see, you can make them to suit any occasion, male, female, whatever. And here's another Christmas card. That's the top. And again, folds flat. So I'll show you how I have put it together and what we need to do it. So to start off with, I've got some little bits and pieces here, just out of my stash. I've just found some stuff to make this. So these will be to decorate it with. I've cut a circle that's 1/4 inch wide, and that is to do around the front. You don't have to do that bit. I just decided I wanted to do it. This is the circle. So this is a 3-inch circle. You don't want to go any bigger than the 3-inch circle. So just find something you've got in the shape of a circle. If you wanted to do a square or an oval, you can. That's up to you, but we're doing a circle today. I have a piece of acetate, and the acetate is 4.5 inches square. And we have a piece of cardstock here. I think I've written on that. So that is 6 1/4 by 4 3/4 of an inch. So that is this backing piece you can see in behind the acetate. And this will get mounted onto this, which is the backing card, and that is 6 1/2 by 5 inches. So we'll pop it together and I'll show you how I have done it. So to start off with, I'll just put this onto the back of the card, well, the front of the back, if that makes sense. It's not going on the rear back, as you'll see in a moment. So I'll just put a bit of glue. So I'm using Couture Creations Quick Dry Adhesive. It does have a little bit of wiggle space in it, so you've got time to move your card into space before it attaches itself to the card, which is always a good thing. So we'll do that. And then, so we have another piece of card. Oh dear, I forgot to cut that out. Never mind. I will quickly cut out another piece of card. And it's to fit on here, and that needs to be 4 3/4 inches square. I thought I'd cut one out, but obviously I didn't. So I'll just quickly cut this out. Now, of course, I'm using this score cutting board, but you can do it just with a ruler and scissors. So I've just got to measure that again to make sure. So 4 3/4 inch square. So I'll just cut that down there. And a bit of loose paper there. And 4 3/4. So that is now going to go on the front of the card. So, and this is the card base. So the card base is 10 1/2 by 5 inches. Now with this one, if you've got that scoreboard, that's great. If not, you can do it without it. Now, if you've got a scoreboard, obviously you can do this a bit quicker, but you're going to score at, and if you don't have a scoreboard, you're going to mark at 1/2 inch. Okay, just line my ruler up. 1/2 inch 1 1/4 inches, 2 inches, 2 3/4 inches, then 7 3/4 inch, 8 1/2, 9 1/4 and 10 inches. So do that at the bottom as well. And then using a scoring tool, if you don't have one of these, you can use just a biro that doesn't work or something that's got a blunt end on it. Line up your dots at the top and the bottom of the page and draw a line. Put a bit of pressure on it because you need it to make a line that you can see, because that's going to be used to score on, to fold. So do that to all your marks. So there's a few of them, so we'll just quickly get them done. There we go. And last one. So that will then give you all these scored lines. I don't know whether you can actually see them very well. Then getting the piece of paper that we just cut out, which was, I'll just tell you again, 4 3/4 inch square. You're going to stick that to the front of that card. Now, it's best to glue it because you want to make sure it's all stuck down. Then put your circle on there, or your square, or your oval, whatever shape you're doing. Do a pencil line around it. Make sure you get it fairly centered because you don't want these showing through the aperture when it's all cut out. Then cut out that circle. You can use scissors. If you've got a cutting die, then it's just use that. And that's what you will end up with. So once you've done that, on the ends, add a strip of double-sided adhesive and then flip it over. And now we're going to add our acetate. So I've already taped this one up, ready to go. So I'm just going to remove my backing tape. It's very strong tape, this red tape. And you can get it at most craft shops. And then we're just going to pop that into place. Give it a push down. And now we're going to make our little columns. So on the fold line closest to the centre, you're going to fold it over there. And if you've got a burnishing tool, give it a burnish, just to give it a sharp fold line. And then do that on each of those scored lines that you created, like so, and then we'll flip it around and do the same thing on the other end. And the last one. And now we're going to make our little columns. So on your second fold line, fold it over, remove your double-sided adhesive, and then on your last score line, fold it over onto the back of the card like that. Give it a good press, and then that has made your column. So now we're going to repeat the process on the other side. So fold it on the second score line, remove the backing tape, and fold it over onto the back of the card. And there's your other column, hence column card. Alrighty, now we're going to stick that onto here. So you can see there, it's this part here and this part here is what's going to be attached to the back of the card. So what we're going to do is fold them that way and put some double-sided adhesive on this piece and this piece. So you can glue it if you like, but I just find with doing this, you've got to wait for the glue to dry, and this is a bit quicker to work on rather than waiting for glue to dry. And just pop this bit on. Now, before I actually stick it, I'm going to make sure I've still got it in the right place. So there and there, and it's going to go there. So once you've done that, holding your card, rock it to the side so it's like that. So that way you're going to have these where you want them. So remove your first piece of tape and lining up this edge with this edge of the card, make sure it's also lined up at the bottom, and then it should line up at the top, and press that into place. And then remove the backing tape from the other one and press that down. So that way you know that that card will fold properly, and you've now got it centered so that you've got the same distance on each side. So that's that done. Now what I've done on the back is I've already stamped a sentiment on there before putting it together, and the piece that I've cut out of here I've kept and put on the back, just as a bit of decoration for the back, and then that leaves plenty of room to write, you know, to and from on the back. And now we'll just decorate the front. So because I'm doing a mail card, I thought I'll use a stopwatch. And we have the gentleman. And we've got wishing you sunshine and smiles. And I'm going to attach that there. So I'll just grab my glue again. Now I don't want to glue on this side. When you're attaching things to acetate, you will need to use double-sided adhesive, because the glue won't stick to it. Once it dries, it'll just pop off. So we're going to pop that in that corner. Now, while I'm adding these, I'll just let you know that I do have a couple of Facebook groups. One's called Card Making for Beginners and Beyond. The other one is called Barossa Valley Crafts. I'll add the links in the description, and if you'd like to join, you're more than welcome to join. And we share any creations that we make, and also hints, tips, ideas and advice to help others. So we're worldwide, so do feel free to come and join us if you'd like to. There we go. And pop him in the middle. Because he's on the acetate now, he will look like he's floating. And wishing you sunshine and happiness. I'll just pop that down in this corner. Just make sure I get the glue in the right spot. And that's it. So easy and very effective. This one, I was actually inspired to do this card by Jane, who I went to her house the other day and we had a play date. And she had this card at her place and I liked it. So I pinched her recipe for it and there it is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, do give me the thumbs up and do come and join us in the Facebook groups if you like. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.